And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. We're almost at 296,000, 4,000 more to go. So do me a favor, let's get there. Let's get there by Friday. So hit subscribe, watch, comment, keep the comments going, and share with a friend because, again, the insanity, it's not stopping, not even on April Fool's Day. So look, yesterday, Trump held a press conference. You can't make this shit up, in the Oval Office. And it was centered around signing an executive order regarding ticket scalpers. In light of all the shit that's going on right now, let's fuck up the ticket scalpers, right? The ones sitting right outside Madison Square Garden who have, front row seats for the Rangers. Who knows? And of course, in order to make this spectacular spectacle even more spectacular, Kid Rock was there in a very unusual getup. This is what he looked like. Yeah, he looked like the guy that gets shot out of the cannon at the circus. Meanwhile, I want to ask you this question. Where are all the people who were so offended and criticized President Volodymyr Zelensky for not wearing a suit when coming in to the Oval Office? I want to show you that photo again because you actually can't make this stuff up. I don't give a shit who the guy is. I don't care if he's a rocker. I don't care if he's a race car driver or he's the clown in the circus that gets shot out of the cannon. You want to talk about being disrespectful when Zelensky doesn't wear a suit? I don't know. This one seems to me to take the cake. Anyways, Trump did his usual question and answer session, but here's the funny thing. He forgot at the end that he still had to sign the executive order. Play the clip.
2 or 3 days. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Headed out that door right there. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Wait.
Well, that was good. Okay, ready, everybody? You better do well with this. He's going to do it. Make sure everything is nice and clean, right? For your
Make America fun again.
Because you're not in a clean industry. Hold that up. Okay? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, press.
Yeah, make America fun again. Sure. Meanwhile, a reporter asked Trump about Elon's tenure ending in May. Play that clip.
Elon Musk's special government tenure is coming to an end, 130 days, I think another month.
Yeah.
Do you want him to stay longer, or is it time for him to go back to running his companies in Europe?
Well, I think he's amazing, but I also think he's got a big company to run, and so at some point he's going to be going back. He wants to.
You just want to keep him around?
But I'd keep him as long as I could keep him. He's a very talented guy. I love very smart people. He's very smart, and he's done a good job. Doge has, we found numbers that nobody can even believe, like 400 billion, 500 billion. It could be close to $1 trillion by the time they end on different things. And he's led the charge. And you've seen a lot of his people. And these are people that joined up. I would say they're high IQ people. I like high IQ people. And they've done a great job. No, at some point, Elon's going to want to go back to his company. I will say he's got, despite the way he's been treated, so he's an American patriot.
First of all, if there was $1 trillion of government fraud, waste, and abuse that was found, I assure you, they would write it all down on a piece of gold leaf and they would show it to everyone in the whole world just to show you how effective that he is. You want to start with, let's call it waste or abuse? Trump's once again going back to Mar-a-Lago. $80 million so far. It's cost the U.S. taxpayer for Donald Trump to make America fun again. All right. Meanwhile, Trump has further asked that if Doge will continue if Elon actually leaves. Play that clip.
Okay. Well, once he goes back, is Doge going to keep operating even without Elon here?
Well, I can't tell you that. I can say this, that a lot of the people that are working with Doge are the secretaries, the heads of the various agencies, and they've learned a lot, and they're dealing with the Doge people. I think some of them may try and keep the Doge people with them, but, at a certain point, I think it will end. But they have also...
Make it end, make it end. Meanwhile, again, we're talking about being April 1st, April Fool's Day. It's still not a joke when Trump is asked about his comments on running for a third term. Play that clip.
This other story, I know it's hypothetical right now, but if you were allowed for some reason to run for a third term, is there a thought that the Democrats could try to run Barack Obama against you?
I'd love that.
For his third term?
Boy, I'd love that. That would be a good one. I'd like that. No, people are asking me to run, and there's a whole story about running for a third term. I don't know. I never looked into it. They do say there's a way you can do it, but I don't know about that. But I have not looked into it. I want to do a fantastic job. We have 4 years, just about, almost close to 4 years. Time is flying, but it's still close to 4 years, and we're getting a lot of credit for having done a great job in the first almost 100 days.
And nobody has given him greater praise than the enablers that are around him. Meanwhile, Trump is asked about any updates on the soldiers in Lithuania. This time, though, he seemed to be a little bit better prepared. He was better briefed, right? But he was still confused. For example, about the vehicle that the soldiers had been in. And I want to clear this up. All right, let me clear up this confusion once and for all. It was not a truck, okay? It was not. It was an M88 Hercules, and I want to show you a photo of it, all right? That's what it was. This is not a truck, all right? Let's play the clip.
Mr. President, have you had any updates on the U.S. soldiers missing in Lithuania?
I have.
Can you give us an update?
So 3 are no longer with us, and 1 is unfortunately probably in the same category, but they haven't declared that yet. It was a very heavy truck, like a toy, but I mean really heavy, that lifted the heaviest equipment, and it would seem that the bank of a lake collapsed. You know, the weight is so big, and it was at night, and it was very cold weather, ice, a lot of ice, and it's possibly slipped, and the weight is so enormous of this thing. It's a massively heavy vehicle, and if they slipped a little bit, that's probably what happened, and it flipped. And 3 are gone, and 1 is missing.
On a separate topic.
Tremendous. Meanwhile, Trump seemed, though, less informed when asked about the Tufts student who had just been detained last week. Play that clip.
And did you see the video of the Tufts University student who was taken off the street by ICE agents last week in hoodies and masks? There's been a lot of criticism of that. Are you comfortable with how that was handled?
Well, I haven't really looked at it in any detail, but I will. I mean, I have seen it quickly, but not. I wouldn't want to comment on. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I would want to comment too if I was you. Now, look, with Liberation Day fast approaching, Trump was asked about the upcoming tariffs. And again, if you watch or you listen to my Substack, you'll understand just how bad I believe this to be. Almost as bad as this response by him. Play the clip.
Are you going to move ahead with a universal tariff or different individual tariff rates on a whole variety of different
Well, you're going to see in 2 days, which is maybe tomorrow night or probably Wednesday, you're going to see. And they're reciprocal. So whatever they charge us, we charge them, but we're being nicer than they were.
Again, same old regurgitated, inaccurate statements. Meanwhile, Trump goes on to claim, I mean, talk about a press conference that's all over the place. He claims that car emissions don't actually affect the environment. Play the clip.
You met with the chairman of Stellantis today. Did
Yes.
he ask you for a pause on the auto tariffs?
No.
What was that meeting about?
Just about some of the problems they have with the environmental, which we're going to clean up.
Have any of the automakers...
We're going to probably go back to 1920. If you look, we're going to go back probably to a 2020 standard. So we'll have 2020 standard, and that's just a few years ago. Oh, they're making it so difficult. All over the world they're making it. It doesn't mean a damn bit of difference even for the environment. It doesn't matter. They make it impossible for people to build cars. So we're going to be doing much different. 2020 is a strong standard.
paging President Trump. Wrong. There's dozens and dozens of professors that will turn around and tell you the exact opposite. But you know better. Meanwhile, Trump is proud to say during this press conference that someone, didn't say who, but someone had said that he is actually a kind person. Play that clip.
Mr. President, you met with the chairman.
Somebody said that about me the other day. They said, who doesn't know me very well, they said, you're such a kind person. And I said, say that again. They said, you're a kind person. I said, I've never heard that before. It was a weird statement. I was kind.
Who said that?
I've heard of words that, I don't know, I better not tell you. You know, I've been called a lot of things, but it's sort of a different kind of a word. It's like an old-fashioned word, isn't it?
Mr. President, you met with
Right. It's somebody who doesn't know him. And lastly, I want to show you a clip of Trump babbling about how to pronounce Qatar. And the real question is, why is the media even airing this nonsense, this stupidity? I don't know. But play the clip.
So we'll probably stop at UAE and Qatar, and as I used to call it, Qatar. Nobody's ever told me, right or wrong. I always like to say Qatar, but it's Qatar. They like to say Qatar. And Saudi Arabia, the three of them, and then we'll go other places also. But in the Middle East, those seem to be the three.
All right, great. Meanwhile, it is April Fool's Day, and we're in a really weird place. You almost would like to turn around and say that this is some sort of a practical joke, but it's not. And things are only going to get worse. So again, let's get to the 300,000 by Friday. Hit subscribe, watch, keep the comments coming, and share with a friend. We'll be at that 500,000 in the blink of an eye. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.